Hello, I am Mema, and welcome back to my analysis, or run-through, or whatever you want to call it, of my D&D campaign, of which we are playing the Spelljammers campaign. When last we left off, we won a fishing tournament and were the talk of the town. And something that I had forgot, but got brought up very early at the scenario, it's like, oh yeah, one of the characters actually got a little fancy-pantsy with one of the head boss ladies of the town, and he was going to go to town with her. He was going to have a nice, fun little time, and in preparation for this event, he bought a potion from one of the merchants that was called Plan B. It's like, hey, Plan B, this is exactly what I need for the night ahead. Although the DM, in her infinite wisdom, that I love her for, decided to make the Plan B potion turn whoever consumes it into a bee, or a swarm of bees, or something like that. Anyway, he starts freaking out because she's now a swarm of bees, leaves. She's now seemed to be made a fool of because some person just came in turning her to a bee. So she has one of two options. Either parade around, basically hold up to the fact that she was basically almost poisoned, or just make him like kick him out the town. So she decides, like, okay, you and your party are kicked out the town, and Zero tries to make amends because he's kind of close to these people, but it's like, can't have it. You could still, I'm not gonna kill you, but you can't stay here under this route no more. And he's like, okay, that's fine. Well, we got a letter saying he's got a ship that he's getting for like inheritance or some shit. So we're gonna go do that real quick. I'm like, okay, bye. So we go to find a ship to rent because the ship that he's inheriting is like 5 planes away or some crap, and we're too poor to buy one despite winning a 25,000 gold payment, because as soon as we get that kind of money, we spend it. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so me and the Riddick character, the guy who just got us kicked out the safe for turning the person to a bee, we're plotting to steal a ship because, I mean, if we steal a ship, what are they going to do? We're in space. They can't find us, right? But Zero goes to negotiate. We go see some twins, and we need to help them because one of them's trying to, like, unalive himself for some reason, but we negotiate. We say, hey, there's plenty of life worth living, mainly because, like, hey, I have protein waffles. I am a cook. I can make you some excellent protein waffles. Also, it's like they're elves too, so they live a very, very, very long life. They might be immortal. I don't really know. Anyway, we do talk them into it. I go shopping for supplies because it's supposed to be a ways away. Zero says goodbye to some of his friends along with the Pussy of Vengeance. While they're going away, they find a false wall somewhere, somehow, and they find a vase in there with a lot of signs that say "Do not open." And of course, discretion being the better part of valor, they decide to steal it. But they were at least slightly smart, and thinking it might be trapped, they decide to, Raiders of the Lost Ark it, like, take a healing potion and put it right back where it was in case there's a pressure plate or something, because that's not going to get found out anytime soon. But we do get on the ship, everything. We get all the supplies we need for the few days journey. We have to put like a safety deposit of like 600 gold down or some shit. But considering the price of the ship, me and the Riddick character are just like, we should just steal the ship. They're not going to come find us. Anyway, I do have Identify, so I cast Identify on this potion to see what it is. And I find out that it is a world potion. What's a world potion, you ask? Good fucking question. When I asked the DM, it's like, oh, there's like a whole universe in there. It's like, oh, that's probably really expensive. We should really be careful with that. And then they hide it in... He went to a tattoo parlor and got a magical tattoo that's kind of like a bag of holding, and he puts it in there because that's an accident waiting to happen. But whatever. We get to the plane or planet or whatever of Oakenbrook, and there's a shit's weird in Oakenbrook. It's very weird. It's very ominous. There is a grave that we passed by that was kind of half-assed halfway through. We probably should have looked more on that, but we didn't because it's like, hey, people die all the time. Like, it's not our place to interpose on their suffering, so we're just gonna keep walking by. Only the Reddit character cared because we were just like, lol. Of course, he probably just wanted to find a body to push in there because he's a murder hobo. Anyway, the market is barren. There's hardly anybody in there. We get some handy exposition from the barkeep, but we don't trust him because like there's weird shit going around. We think he may have ulterior motives, but he does send his kid off to get like information on our ship on where the ship is at. And then after a while, we're like, hey, the kid's been gone for a while. How, like, is he supposed to be here? He should be back by now, huh? And the dude's like, what are you talking about? I don't have a kid. And we're like, that's suspicious. So we go track down the kid. And when we get there, the tracks turn to goblin tracks, and then we get attacked. And then, because it's just a couple of goblins and a hobgoblin, we, like, wipe the floor with them. And we're like, okay, whatever. This seems like a good place to take a rest. You really want us to take a rest for some reason. And we do. It's like, okay, because you spent most of the day on the ship. You're spending a lot of the day on the town. If you don't take a ship, you're going to suffer poor exhaustion. It's like, okay. And we wake up, we notice, like, this weird bag. And, like, pack, it says D'Artagnan. I was like, who the hell is D'Artagnan? Does anybody know what D'Artagnan? I'm like, nope. And we're like, huh. And we go back into town. There's a deaf hobo who says he is watching us. He gets scared and run away. It's like, huh. That's ominous. So we try to communicate him, but he's like deaf, so he doesn't talk very well. Nobody knows sign language. I try to message him, but Steven's like, he's deaf. He can't speak. Like, okay, that's fair. So we try to get some more information in town. Zero goes to like the shopkeep, and when he goes into the shopkeep, he notices a strange facial expression in his mirror. It's like, do you turn around to see what it is? He's like, nope, I ain't turning around for shit. I'm pretending I ain't noticing crap. He's like, okay. The Pushy Avengers go to the highest part of the town and just like keeps lookout. I ask around town, I ask people like, hey, this may seem like a weird question, but like, how long have you been here? And the passerby is like, you know, that's strange. I don't know, really. I don't even know how I came here and all this shit's like that. So I immediately turned to message like, look, the shit's weird in this town. Is there any place in this town that y'all are like, y'all don't go to for some reason? That there's just this ominous feeling that you just instinctively stay away from? And she says, yes, we have that feeling about the west side of town. It's like, okay. Thank you. You should go home now because shit's about to get down. I gather the party. We head to the west side of town. And wouldn't you know it, we get attacked. But we don't just get attacked by any creature. Oh, no. We get attacked by a false Hydra. Mema, what's a false Hydra? Thank you. Thank you for asking, voice in my head. A false Hydra is a very famous, very popular D&D homebrew. I don't know if it was ever released in an actual edition, but it has not been released to my knowledge yet in 5th edition, and it is a very popular homebrew. The thing about the false Hydra is it kind of looks, there's going to be a thing on the screen to show you what it looks like, but the thing is, like, when they eat something, everyone around them just completely forgets that thing ever exists. It's like, oh, that's what this thing is. That this thing is killing the town, like feeding this as like its own personal form, F-A-R-M, and we need to stop it. So we do. It was a very epic fight. Much action was. That was probably the best encounter we've had combat encounter we've had this entire campaign. And then when the false Hydra dies, the memory wipe that it gives also goes away, and we realize that the bag we found for D'Artagnan was actually a party member in our own party. Yep, been there the whole time. It was like that scene from the Suicide Squad.
Has anyone got eyes or ears on any more?
They killed Milton!
Who's Milton?
What?
I don't remember any Milton.
Fuck! He has been with us the whole time!
Somebody named Milton has been with us the whole time.
Yes!
I don't think so. I think I would have noticed if a guy named Milton's been with us. It's not a very common name. I don't think I've ever even met Milton.
Are you messing around right now? He was a really nice guy, and he sacrificed himself to help us. And now look at him. He's dead.
Oh, that guy, Milton.
Actually, because like, don't you know D'Artagnan? She was in your party the entire time. It's like, we don't know no freaking D'Artagnan. And she's like, it's part of the story. You forgot because the thing. It's like, oh, okay, got it. But we eventually, after that, we're like, okay, the town's people are all just horribly depressed because they're like, oh God, what's happened? But we do eventually find our ship in a cove, which is protected by tree beard, literally an int that's completely blocking it. And we get, but the Zero says like the magic word or whatever to make it be like, hey, you're good. We're fine. This is our ship. I was like, oh, okay. Then we get attacked by space elves. They're looking for shit. They're also looking for Diamond, and they are willing to team up with us because they're like the Zero character. They're also like swashbucklers who are against the evil empire. So we're like, okay. They're also bounty hunters. And they make jokes that Maggie, my barmaid from the first scenario, is the big bad evil person that they're hunting, which at this point, if Maggie doesn't end up being the big bad evil guy for this entire campaign, I'm going to be disappointed. Anyway, that's where that session ended. That was the best session of D&D I can remember having in a long, long time. And I can't wait for next session. Let's go. Till next time, fuckers. Bye.